Hello, welcome to yoga class. Today's class is called Mantras and Movement. Mantra is the Sanskrit word for a sacred sound or phrase that is spoken to aid in concentration and focus. So in this class sequence, I'll share several mantras to inspire your movement practice. Let's start off in a comfortable seated position. So find however you want to sit on your mat in your area. And as you get adjusted in your area, think about what props you might want or need to support your practice. Later on, as we finish our warm-up, we are going to try some core work with a couple blocks. So if you've got blocks, have those set to the side. If you don't have blocks, don't worry, you can modify through that part. So from our comfortable seat, we'll just close our eyes, bring the gaze inward. And as you bring the gaze inward, inhale deeply through your nostrils. As you notice your breath moving in and out, feel your hips grounded down. Feel the crown of your head reaching up towards the sky. A straight, long spine. Notice if you're leaning forward or if you're leaning back. Really try to stack the shoulders above the hips and the ears above the shoulders. Hands can be resting at the thighs or in your lap, or you might even have your hands in prayer position at your heart center. Keep the gaze inward, the eyes closed. Notice your next inhalation, breathing in all the way to the top of the breath. And as you exhale, slowly release the air. Inhale, feel the heart expand. Exhale, feel the chest soften. Simply notice how your body feels at the start of your practice. And just listen to the sound of my voice as I offer you 4 different mantras. All you need to do is continue to lengthen your breath. I am strong and powerful. I believe in and celebrate myself. I am open to the prosperity and abundance in the universe. I can accomplish and complete anything I want to do. Now, you might have noticed if one of those mantras really stood out for you. If so, hold on to that one as we move through our practice as your intention. You might have also noticed that you have your own mantra. And if so, I invite you to have that as your own personal theme or intention. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. And as you exhale, open your mouth, big sigh of relief. Start to open your eyes, coming into the space. Preparing to move our bodies from a seated position with your hands gently resting to your thighs. Go ahead and take your left ribs towards your left knee. As you inhale, send your heart forward. Move over to the other side. And as you exhale, bring your belly button towards your spine. Continue to circle around in this direction. This feels really good in my torso, especially in the side body. This is a really funny moment for me because you can't see her, but my dog is on her bed on the other side of the room, and she's looking at me thinking, who are you talking to? Why are you moving like that? It's just a funny little audience member that I have today. Sometimes she makes a cameo, so that might happen. Now, as you're circling around, you might have noticed, if you have the desire, to pause somewhere specific. That way, if you feel extra tension, you can let that release with a longer hold. And then continue to circle around when you're ready. You might even be ready to switch it up and move in the opposite direction. As you move in the opposite direction, simply notice if your body wants to move fast or slow. Just let your body go at the pace that it wants to. Notice if there's anywhere you want to pause and take a longer hold. Side body stretching always feels really amazing in my body. You might be having that same experience. Continue to move on when you're ready. Slowly start to bring yourself back to center. Once you get to center, as you inhale, open your heart. Send your chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round the back, shoulders forward. Each time you inhale, open the heart, get extension in the spine. And each time you exhale, round the back for flexion. Movement following the breath. Each time you open your heart and you shine it forward, this might be a nice intention to share. I believe in and celebrate myself. Come back to the mantra that's working for you. Finish off this round. As you finish this round, bring yourself to center. As you inhale, extend the fingers out opposite directions. And then bend your elbows, take your fingertips to your shoulders. Now, we are going to do spinal twisting. This is going to be a quicker movement. You'll find when you're moving that your elbows are going to want to sag down. Keep the elbows lifted. So just twist to one direction and then the other. Twisting from side to side. So this isn't necessarily going with your breath unless you're deciding to take a quicker breath. Now check in with yourself. If those elbows are sagging, lift them up. Notice how much this movement is liberating your spine, releasing tension from the muscles in the back space. This is a technique that I learned from the Kundalini style of yoga, which is a great style, especially if you've got blockages in your back. Just take a couple more from side to side, and then find center. Now, slowly let your hands float down. You might have noticed if that made you a little dizzy, so just give yourself a moment to reset, recenter. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Now, we are going to do some vinyasas. These can be optional for you if you don't want to. If you do, though, let's go ahead and prep those shoulders. So inhale, reach the fingers out, opposite directions. Now, as you exhale, go ahead and cross your right arm over your left. Bend your elbows. See if the hands meet. Now, keeping the shoulders low, just lift the elbows. Hold and breathe. Feel the stretch at the shoulders and the upper back space. Taking another full round of breath here. As you exhale, slowly lower your elbows, unwind your arms, inhale, reach the arms back out. As you exhale, now cross the left arm over the right, bend the elbows, see if the hands meet. Keep the shoulders low, just lift the elbows, hold and breathe. All you need to do here is close your eyes and feel sensation. On the next exhale, lower the elbows down. Unwind the arms, inhale, reach them out, and exhale, lower them down. Now from here, we're gonna stay on our seat, but we're gonna work on our core. So doing two core activities. The first one is gonna be seated. The second one is the one I was telling you is gonna be with the blocks. So from our seat, we're just gonna switch up the legs. Now we're gonna bring the legs forward, and as you bring the legs forward, position your heels in line with your glutes. So we're coming into boat pose. Now from your boat pose, reach your arms forward. Fingers are reaching forward. Thumbs are up as if you're saying, yeah, hey, okay. Fingers reaching forward. See if you can position your wrist in line with your shoulders. Now from here, lift your feet. Now you might lift your ankles in line with your knees. You might straighten your legs. If that's too much, come back to bent knees. If that's too much, you can tap your big toes down. Now, whatever you choose for your boat pose, notice if you're collapsing in the chest. If so, open the heart, shine it forward. And as you stay in this position, the setup that you find that's best for your body today, feel the engagement in the core. Feel the strength coming from this center, the solar plexus, the source of our personal power. Hold for one more round of breath. You can even do crunches if you prefer, if you really are ready to activate. And on the next exhale, we'll let the feet come down. Good. Now we are going to incorporate the blocks. We're going to transition from our seat to a modified plank. So for this modified plank, invite your blocks onto the mat. And as you position the blocks onto the mat, you're going to bring them both to the lowest height. And you want to make sure that the blocks are shoulder distance. Now we are going to lower down. If you're really broad in the chest, you might want to open the shoulders a little bit wider. So as we set up, we'll take our hands to the blocks and we'll extend our legs back. So we're in plank position, our hands are on the blocks. Now, from here, bend your elbows as if you're coming into a chaturanga. From there, lower your shoulders onto the blocks. Once they feel supported, reach your hands back, palms facing down. Now, just hold and breathe. Feel all the engagement in the core, in the abs. Feel engagement in the quads and in the glutes. Really building strength here. If somebody walked into the room right now, they might think, what are you doing? But I can feel so much activity in my body. Now on the next exhale, we're going to gently come out. I recommend lowering the knees, uncurling the toes, bringing the belly and the thighs down, and then taking your hands back onto the blocks. Now from here, let's just set the blocks out to the side. Stack one hand on top of the other. Position your forehead on your hands, so using your hands as a pillow. And just taking a moment to reconnect with your breath. As you inhale, feel your belly pressing to the mat. As you exhale, feel the belly soften. And take one more round of breath. Inhale, lift your head. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Now, as you extend your arms, lift your hips, transitioning into some kneeling work. Position your wrist underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Position the knees underneath the hips. Now, from here, go ahead and step your left foot outside of your left hand. As you do this, press the hips forward. If the knee is going past the ankle, shimmy the foot forward. If the shoulders are going past the wrist, shimmy the hands forward. Now from our lizard pose, we can just rock the hips from side to side. Preparing the hips for some standing poses that we're going to do. Here you might want to curl the right toes, come off the right knee, and just shift forward and back, little micro movements. You might even draw circles with your right heel. This is a great stretch for the area underneath the toes. And then you might circle around opposite direction. Bring the foot to stillness. Lift your hips. See if you can straighten that front leg. Maybe walk the hands back if you need to, if that's more comfortable. So now feeling into the left hamstring. You can even practice pressing that right heel back to feel a stretch of the right calf. And on your next inhale, shift that left knee forward again. Exhale, lift the hips, send them back. And again, movement following the breath. And the next time the left knee is tracking above the left ankle, go ahead and lower that right knee down. Uncurl the toes, maybe rock the hips from side to side again. Now slide that left foot back so it's in line with the right. Lift the right knee, step the right foot forward. Check in on this side. First, start off with your alignment. Right knee is above the right ankle. Make sure that the shoulders aren't coming past the wrist. Maybe start to rock from side to side. Bring the hips to center, curl the left toes, come off the left knee. Just shift forward and back, little micro movements. Maybe you draw little circles with the left heel. And then circle around opposite direction. Back to center, lift the hips, straighten that right leg. Now because this is the first one, you might want to walk the hands back, simply giving yourself time and stillness to feel into this side. With the right leg straight, feeling into the right hamstring. Maybe giving a little press back to the left heel, feeling a stretch at the left calf muscle. On your next inhale, bend the right knee, shift forward. Exhale, lift the hips, move back. And again. Movement is following the breath. Meet with the right knee above the right ankle. Lower that left knee down. Now from here, slide that right foot back. And then if you modify it at all, just bring yourself back to that neutral tabletop position. Here you might draw circles with your hips. Circles can be as big or as small as you'd like. You can even rotate the fingers out towards the long edges of the mat, warming up the shoulders, and then circle the hips around opposite direction. You might turn the fingers towards the knees, warming up the shoulders, warming up the wrist even more. Rotating the fingers back around when you're ready. And then finding your way to center. As you turn the fingers forward, maybe shake out each of the hands, lifting one at a time. From here, walk your hands forward, one hand placement. Curl your toes, lift your hips way up high. Find your downward facing dog. And if you're not sure about your alignment in down dog, as you inhale, you can shift forward, plank position. And as you exhale, lift your hips, press back. Now in down dog, you might bend one knee at a time. As you bend one knee, feel a stretch in the opposite leg. Continue to move if you like that as an option. Keep sending your chest towards your thighs. Maybe take one more on each side. Come to stillness. You might rock the hips from side to side. And then walk your feet towards your hands. Feet come to the top of the mat. Inhale, raise your fingertips towards your shins. Let the palms rest at the shins. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now, as you bring your torso towards your legs, your arms can dangle. You can bend your knees if your hamstrings are tight. Your hands can come to opposite elbows, framing your head with your arms. And really let your head and your neck release. Avoid the urge to hold the head up. Crown of the head should be pointing down to the ground. Here you might come back to bending one knee as the opposite leg straightens. You'll feel a really nice stretch going up the leg into the hip. And you can intensify this even more by sending the hip of the straight leg back. Now, if you're taking this option, go ahead and take one more on each side. Release your elbows, let the arms dangle. Now slowly roll up to a standing position. Let your head come up last. And as you come into this standing position, just give yourself a moment to feel the foundation at your feet. Bring your feet towards the top of the mat. And position your feet so that they're hip distance. So when you look down to your feet, about 6 inches between the arches of your feet. And then maybe you want to rock towards the toes and then back towards the heels. We're just getting ourselves grounded here. Now as we inhale, we'll lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. And again, inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. One more time. As the shoulders come back and down, let the shoulders melt away from the ears. From here, we'll bring the big toes together, leave a little space at the heels. So taking this foot position, because we're coming into chair pose. So as you inhale, bend the knees, sit back as if you're looking for a chair. You might graze the fingertips, reach the arms forward. Squeeze the thighs together. Feel the activation and the strength building in this area. Hold and breathe here. You've got this. Come back to your mantra. I am strong. I am powerful. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. You might bend the knees to make the connection. Step the right toes back. Step the left toes back. Now, for this first vinyasa, you might lower knees, chest, chin. Come onto the thighs and the belly. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze forward. Exhale, lift the hips, find downward facing dog. Inhale, lift and lengthen that right leg, toes to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Inhale, arms rise up. Gaze is forward. Exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Moving through another vinyasa, right foot comes back. Now you can lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. This is up to you. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale takes us to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift and lengthen the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Inhale, arms rise up, gaze is forward. Exhale, take the hands down. Left foot comes back. Move through your flow. Now, this time when you get to downward facing dog, you can hold here for a few rounds of breath. If you prefer, you can come into child's pose. Both are great options. It just depends on what you need at this point of your practice. If you're in child's pose, you can stay there or you can meet us in down dog. From down dog, we'll step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, taking a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale is our chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Now, as you come into your Tadasana, close your eyes, bring your gaze inward. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Find your breath. If you notice that your breath got short, come back to the practice of lengthening it. Inhale deeply all the way to the top of the breath. Exhale, big sigh of relief, let it go. I am strong and powerful. We are so much stronger and powerful than we give ourselves credit for. Feel the energy coming from your heart center. This energy that you've created with your movement, with your intention. Prepare to move again. Inhale, find your chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's take a half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Feet come back, plank position. Lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale is downward facing dog. Inhale, lift and lengthen the right leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Inhale, the arms rise up. Coming back to our crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the elbows, adding on cactus arms, gaze up. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, take the hands down. Right foot comes back. Move through your flow. Remember, your movement follows your breath. Inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Firm stance, arms reach up, gaze is forward. Exhale is our cactus arms, little back bend. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, take the hands down. Left foot back. If you're getting tired, you can lower knees, chest, chin. You can also come into cobra. Just lifting the chest, keeping the belly and the thighs down. And then exhale, take it to down dog. Staying here or in child's pose with your breath. And taking this time to lengthen the breath. If you're getting overheated, you can inhale through your nostrils. Exhale, open your mouth. Lion's breath. Now make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come into your chair pose. Exhale is Tadasana. Now, as we come into our Tadasana, we're coming back to a reflective pause. Bring the gaze inward, close your eyes. Notice your breath. Practice lengthening the breath. Inhale slowly, deeply, all the way to the top of the breath. Exhale, big sigh of relief. Now, as you continue to breathe and re-lengthen your breath, relax your face. Separate the teeth to relax the jaw. Come back to your standing foundation. Know that we have one more round. We're going to add on just another little element for this last round. So preparing to move with our breath. As you inhale, come back to your chair pose. Exhale is forward fold. Inhale is our half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump plank position. Move through your flow. Once you get to downward facing dog, inhale, lift and lengthen that right leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale is cactus arms. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Now, as you exhale, take the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, press palms together, straighten the arms, open the heart. And release. Reach the fingers back up. Exhale, takes them down. Right foot steps back. Move through your flow. Take it all the way to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift and lengthen the left leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Arms rise up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, take the hands behind. Now, see if you can find the awkward grip, the way that you don't usually grip. Press the palms together. Open the heart. And release the hands. Inhale, brings the fingertips back up. Exhale, takes the hands down. Moving through another vinyasa. This time, when we make our way to downward facing dog, we've got 3 rounds of breath. Remember, you can always come into child's pose instead. Practice lengthening the breath. Stay in child's pose as long as you'd like if you are there. Or transition to down dog. From here, making your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale is chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Close the eyes. With the eyes closed, let the shoulders melt away from the ears. Let's come back to another mantra. I can accomplish and complete anything I want to do. Whether it's your practice or part of your practice or something else. You can accomplish and complete anything you want to do. Feel this power that you possess from your being. Continue to work with your breath. Continue to expand the breath. And flutter the eyes open, come back into the space. Look to your feet. If the feet are together, separate them hip distance. You can start off by taking your hands to your hips. Now from here, step that right foot back to 45 degrees. As you step the right foot back to 45, think about bending that left knee and keeping that left knee tracking above the ankle. Now press to the pinky side of that right foot. From here, we're going to fly the arms and gaze forward. So we want our hip points facing forward. If our hips are moving more to the side, We can achieve this by shimmying that front foot out. Now, with the hips forward, the fingers reaching up to the sky, I want you to repeat to yourself, I am strong. Feel free to say this as you want to, especially if you're in your own space. Whether someone else can hear you or not, repeat after me, I am strong. Feel the strength in your legs. Now, if you shimmy that left foot out, shimmy it back in. Open the arms, rotate your back foot to 90 degrees. So now, the heel of your front foot in line with the arch of your back foot. So we're coming into our warrior two. Now, reaching the fingers in opposite directions, front knee is going to stay bent. Gaze is to the front middle finger. Now, standing strong in your warrior two. Repeat after me. I am powerful. Hear the power in your voice. Feel it in your body. Repeat after me again. I am powerful. You know you are. Let yourself say it. Feel it in your body, in your heart, and in your soul. Then let your back hand drop to your thigh. Reach your fingers up. Keep that front knee bent. Reach overhead. Open that side body. Open your heart. Repeat after me. I celebrate myself. This time a little louder. I celebrate myself. Gently come out. As you exhale, lower your hands down. Press into the front leg, straighten the leg. Turn the toes so that all 10 toes are facing the same direction. Now we're going to take those 3 options on the other side. So now rotating the right foot to the back of the mat, and then reposition the left foot to 45 degrees. So setting up for our warrior one, pressing to the pinky edge of the back foot, keeping a bend at the front knee, knee tracking above the ankle. Now, as you rotate your torso facing the back of the mat, lift your arms up. Remember, if your hips are facing the side rather than forward, you can let your front foot go wider. Warrior one. Let's come back to our mantras. Think of these as affirmations, these positive phrases and statements to help us in our practice, inspiring our movement and our day. Warrior one. Repeat after me. I am strong. One more time, a little louder. I am strong. On your next exhale, open the arms, fingers reach opposite directions. Shimmy that foot in. If you send it out, now rotate that back foot to 90 degrees. Check that your front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Now, gaze is to your middle finger of your arm that's above your bent knee. This is warrior two. Repeat after me. I am powerful. We're going to say it one more time. I want you to feel this in your being. I am powerful. Drop that back arm. Keep the knee bent. Reach the fingers up to the sky and then overhead. Gaze up. I celebrate myself. One more time. Repeat after me. I celebrate myself. Come out. Press into the foot, straighten the leg, turn the toes. All 10 toes are facing the same direction. Start to heel toe the feet towards each other. And from here, you can bring your feet to the top of the mat. Know that from here, we're going to change the station of our body from standing back down to the mat. We're going to ground down as we cool down in our practice. So to get there, you can inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, dive forward. Bend the knees, connect the hands, step the right foot back, bring the shin down, step the left foot back, bring the shin down. Send the feet out to one side, come onto your seat. And then bring your hips to the middle of the mat so that you can lay back. So you want to connect your back, your shoulders, and your head. And as you make this connection, just feel this neutral spine. Take a few rounds of breath. Notice how good it feels to ground down after harnessing all that power in your standing movement. Transitioning to a happy baby, lift your feet off the mat. Open the knees as wide as you can, and then rotate the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. You can start by taking your hands behind your knees, or you might try to reach a little higher, taking your hands to your ankles, or you can hook your peace fingers, index and middle finger, to the big toes. Now, what's important here is to keep the tailbone grounded. So if the tailbone disconnects from the mat, then take a lower reach. Now, in your happy baby, you can stay in stillness, or you can gently rock from side to side, giving yourself a nice little massage for the back space. You might want to go deeper for the legs. You might straighten one leg as the opposite knee stays bent. And if that feels good in your body, then you might try that on the other side. You might even practice straightening both legs. And from here, we'll bend the knees. Release the feet. Let the legs stay lifted. Open your arms out so that your wrists are in line with your shoulders. Now, position your ankles in line with your knees and your knees above your hips. Bring the knees together. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, take both knees over to the left. Keep the right shoulder down. Spinal twist. Inhale, lift the knees up. Exhale, take both knees to the right. Keep that left shoulder down. Each time you inhale, lift the knees to center. And each time you exhale, take the knees opposite direction. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time on each side. Spinal twisting gives us an opportunity to detoxify. Might get some nice cracking and popping like I just did. I like when that happens. Now let the feet come down to the mat. And from here, you can let the knees splay open, soles of the feet meet. So now we're in a Supta Baddha Konasana. It means we're in a reclined bound angle. If you feel a lot of tension at the hips, you can make fists with your hands and position the fist underneath the thighs for support. Or if your blocks are handy, you can position your blocks there. Now at this point of our practice is a good place to come into Shavasana. You could take your posture of relaxation from this Supta Baddha Konasana. Or you might extend your legs, taking more of a traditional shape for your Shavasana, keeping space between the legs and space at the armpits. For the length of our class today, I recommend taking 8 to 10 minutes of relaxation. Tucking your chin towards your chest, lengthening the back of the neck, cervical spine. And then closing your eyes, letting your gaze come inward. And as you bring your gaze inward, really let your body melt down with each exhale breath. Inhale, taking in energy. Exhale, soften, surrender to this time of stillness, integration, and relaxation. With the eyes closed and the gaze inward, come back to the mantras from the start of our class. Feel free to tune me out if you're working with a mantra of your own. Just breathe. I am strong and powerful. I believe in and celebrate myself. I open up to the prosperity and abundance in the universe. I can accomplish and complete anything I choose to do. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in this practice today. It is my deepest honor. Namaste.